A small but vocal group gathered on Pacific Avenue for the annual March to End Homelessness, calling on city and county leaders to hear what they have to say.
Our chants were things like stop the sweeps, stop the terror on the streets.
Keith McHenry, co-founder of Food Not Bombs, explained that they had 3 demands: to reopen daytime services at Housing Matters, audit how homeless funding is being spent, and the biggest topic was a push to end the twice-weekly sweeps.
I've lost all my belongings in 13 different sweeps where the police came and took everything.
We have to replace those tents and sleeping bags and tarps often, and it's costing Food Not Bombs between $500 to $1,000 a month to handle the crisis of those people living on the street.
Another big topic was Santa Cruz nonprofit Housing Matters shutting down its day services, which used to provide access to showers and mail. They say they're shifting their focus to permanent housing rather than drop-in services.
The shelter being taken from us was a huge blow, but it's okay. Like we'll rebound from it.
They've disrupted mail service, showers, and all these things, which are adversely affecting the homeless.
In previous years, nonprofits like Housing Matters have helped sponsor the march, with reports estimating a 2023 budget of over $50,000. This year, Food Not Bombs says they put it together for under $300, highlighting a different approach and raising questions about how funding is used.
Millions of dollars comes into Santa Cruz County to help the homeless, but we're not seeing millions of dollars of services for the homeless.
And there's people dying because they don't have a house. They can't keep their stuff safe. They can't keep their family and their children safe.
Nonprofits like Housing Matters say that funding is usually tied to specific programs, and often that gap makes it feel like the money isn't reaching the people. Now, we reached out to Santa Cruz Mayor Fred Keeley for a response. We have not heard back yet. Live in Santa Cruz, I'm Michael Rosales, KSBW, Action News 8.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Michael.
Extend service hours. On my understanding is Housing Matters has shut down day services for you. So yeah, that's what we're doing out here. We spoke to people who marched, and then we're here speaking to people who it impacts and hearing what they're going through, how stuff like sweeps and closed services affects them.
My name is Donald Ibrahimi. I go by Abe.
Nice to meet you.
I've been a homeless advocate for 28 years.
Wow.
I've written a bill, and I want to pass that. Yeah. I had a promise 28 years ago. It said the city I live one day there'll be no homeless people. So my mission has been to abolish not homelessness, but non-profits. Yeah. Because that will abolish homelessness. The whole world the whole world can't be housed in America, but yet America has more homeless people than the world. Why? Because it's become a funnel for the rich to use to launder money. I was responsible to close Image to Camp. One of the main key players to close that shit down. Yeah. Miss Evan got fired at Housing Matters. Andreas, all those guys for two and a half months. I videotaped these guys, I audio taped it, and I told them I'm blowing the whistle, and I called the right people, and I told them that these people are stealing money. They're doing this in the past, they're doing this, they're doing this, they're doing this. They didn't listen, I warned them they didn't listen. Okay, and now they might even close. They're trying to pass the bill to the codes to change it. Listen, there'll be fire coming from the sky if they change that road, okay? I followed all my life as a kid, Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, Terry Kenboom, John F. Kennedy, all these guys who, Mahatma Gandhi, these people who made a change in a big way, okay? I became homeless against my will 2024, and I called the cops on my wife and had her arrested because I just couldn't take her abuse no more. Assaultive, just mother was crazy, beating her dad every day. So I just called the cops and found her. Okay, for 26 years I did part-time advocating. From the day I've been in America in 1998, my first $500, whether I made $758 an hour or I made $76 an hour, I paid minimum $500 towards the homeless. I realized when I became homeless that I was doing wrong the whole time in a way. How can I know what homeless needs when I'm not homeless myself? I used to say these lazy bastards. What a fool I was. There's nothing lazy about being homeless. Okay? And the culture needs to change. People need to change. We need to change. I need to change. You need to change. So what happens is I look down to these people and say it's a lost cause. Drug is not the homeless problem. Okay, homeless problem is a division problem. Okay, if you got it all together, I've been cities across America where I go to laundry person and I say, hey man, can you file laundries for me? Just help me. The nail person, can you come do 2 week, 2 persons manicure? So you get into, if you all about it, you've made it, you're good. Get inside the community and do. What you do what you can. If it is giving one biscuit, giving one ice cream, talking to get people to believe again, love again, hope again, a reason again to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but if I separate, I say you against me, but yet I don't want them out, but I want them out. So because you know Santa Cruz don't want the homeless. Santa Cruz don't want homeless people out. And it's all a facade. It's all a. If you didn't want them out, they put it out. Okay, America, you will put your ass out. No, this is all like game, and okay, you put somebody in housing, but yet 3 months later they get kicked out. You get questioned about, hey, why did you put this guy in housing? He can't hold a job. This guy doesn't have to interview. He can't hold a bank account. Not that he's low. He's not had an opportunity to learn. So why don't you get those things together? Get him in a nice program right now. Get the trade doing. Get somebody come volunteer and say, okay, let's help this. Just for months after months after months. Then you will see this person talk to you finally. Finally, he's trusted you, and you better keep the trust and not open your mouth and go tell your cousin, okay, I heard this guy said this, blah, 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 blah. No, and we just ruin it. No, you trust that person. I trust him. You trust him, and slowly people get close and they just immediately change. Once the division closes, then it will happen. Capitola is one of the most wretched cities in America, and it was sold for a penny. That's a foreshadow for Santa Cruz to have a chance to clear itself, because Santa Cruz is one of the star cities in America. But the way it's going, there'll be fire coming from the sky, okay? And I've been around this community for a year and a half. I volunteered, and I'm honored to volunteer. By choice, I stay homeless. And I've seen some of the most genius people in the world in the homeless community. And believe me, they better be warned. If these guys unite, they will buy a third of Santa Cruz, okay? Because the talent, the passion, the kindness, the love, and I've seen it a year and a half, it's grown among themselves. And finally slowly grow. And the rebellion is gone. They're saying, okay man, they're doing this, we're not going to do that. We're going to clean, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And it's tough, okay? I'm not bragging about this. This is God do through me. In a year and a half, over 1,000 tents, over 1,400 sleeping bags, over 2,000 blankets, shoes, clothes, and all on $0. What? Just running around. Hey, bud, I'm looking for this guy, for this guy, and I do it, and I hate it, and I want to strangle people sometimes, and I want to strangle myself, but I see it different. I see he was right when he tells me just do this, just do that, instead of. You have people come, they have big hearts, they come to Coral Street, for example, and do 200 blankets. Okay, you got the smart ones, the hustlers, they come forward and they grab the blankets. Now the person who really needs a blanket, that's not being frugal and discerning about what you've been blessed with. So you take this thing, you just throw it there because you want to write on your taxes, but yet you don't know who you're giving it to, who's it going to, and it becomes like this world. The evil comes in, just grabs it, and the little ones are just, and then worse. Yes, we might have these big dogs here, but this dog depends on these people. On every level, there's one bigger dog. Now, let's say the biggest dogs who are running America, they need to hear this. The cloud doesn't stay behind the mountain. You will have to count on these guys right here. Because the time is going to come, people are going to kill each other in America over food. Why? Because America has wasted 60% of its food produced. Throwing away cases of tenderloins and chickens that you open, and it's still good, but FDA, which is corrupted, says it's expired. But yet they double it up money, so they do the tax write-off plus the millions they made, and it becomes a game. It's a revolving door. Greed doesn't help. Our eyes, everybody is guilty. That is never satisfied. The more I see, the more I want. So when you say I own nothing, then you're good. That doesn't mean you don't need things, you don't have a home, you don't have a car. No, it is essential. But the attitude of the heart, the motive has to change. I don't want to say, I don't want to brag. You're 4 people away from whatever you want to get, whoever you want to see. It's people, not money.
Exactly.
Okay? Right. If people like you and you're good, next person, you can change by just being you, not doing anything. Just doing you. I don't have to jump in there and get people rally me and do strikes and signs and waste of time. I don't have to tell you lead, I lead. No, you lead where you need to, he leads where you need to, and the ones that are following you just grab them and you move. Someday they will lead. Believe me. Even if it's to sit there and you look at him, he's in a wheelchair and he can't do nothing. You look at him after the whole day, you're like, I should have done this, should have done that, but then something tells you, no. If you have walked over there with those legs that you have, he doesn't. You go places you're not supposed to and do things you're not supposed to do. He's blind, he doesn't see, well, he doesn't look at the nasty things you look at. He doesn't talk, he doesn't cuss like Abe does. He doesn't, whatever. And you look at the humble yourself, he's here to humble you. Okay, so nobody's better than no one. Everybody leads where they can. Just be you, do you. That could be the doctor, the sweeper, the attorney, the politician, whatever it is. But everybody wants to be somebody else and be missing simple things. The last thing I say, humanity has become dumb over thousands of years. Thank God for Elon Musk, for example. He's gifted, he's done something great, but we didn't even need the light bulb, I don't think so.
No, absolutely.
Okay, we didn't need it. Because there was wax for us to do it. Not that means we did brains, we don't improve, we do it. But we did too much. Everything is permissible. Not everything is beneficial.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Be safe, be kind.
You too.